Hi, you're joining me, Ashley King, a podcast enthusiast who loves to chat. I run a studio called Flamingo Heights Podcast Studio in the Oosburn, Newcastle upon Tyne. We specialise in audio and video podcasts, and we're passionate about helping people to bring their stories to life. You're listening to our pop-up podcast recorded at the North East Business Expo, hosted by Fresh Events in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce Northeast. It was a super busy day and we got to chat to lots of small businesses and individuals about the work they do and why it matters. By the way, these guests have had no media training or preparation. It was a very spontaneous thing to do on the day, recorded in a very noisy space. We hope that these recordings show that with a little support and the magic of editing, any story can come to life. So, without further ado, let's jump right in.
Hello, it's so nice to see you.
Hi, Ashley.
Hello, so can you tell us about yourself and about your business?
Yes, my name's Paul Allan, and I'm the sales director for the Christmas Decorators, commercial Christmas decorations. I look after the whole country for commercial accounts, the likes of O2, Parkdean, Next, Boots. But because I'm a Geordie, I'm based in the North East, so I look after the area from Middlesbrough to Berwick.
And it's amazing what you do. So what you're doing is looking after, as you said, all the commercial work, but when we go into Next, as you said, or all these different organisations, and we see the beautiful Christmas trees and the displays, you're the person who's behind all of that and the organisation. Yeah,
we go into, it could be anything from a private residence up to a historic royal palace. We would go in, I've got a degree in retail design, so I would always go in with my sketch pad and design a Christmas decoration scheme, always based on the architecture, always based on columns and, balconies and windows and doors, which not everybody can do, not every company can do. They'll just try and sell you what they've got in the warehouse. But we make everything, so we can design something completely bespoke, an archway or something up your drive even, or round the sort of headquarter footprint of your building, and then we cost it all out for you, do a presentation, and then we come and install it. You don't know we've been, come and take it down again and store it for you. Just takes all the hassle out of Christmas. It's quite a big. You know what it's like in your own house, especially when you've got to take them down. It's not a job you actually want to do. So especially if you've got a big business or even just an office block, you just want somebody to do it for you. So that's exactly what we do.
And there's so much to think about, isn't there? Because it's not only the design and the installation, but it's things like putting decorations at height and making sure that they look right and they're safe and they're not going to fall on something. So there's so many thoughtful bits and components to that come up.
Exactly. Now that's exactly where my degree comes in, because you've got to sort of look at an area, and if the giant stag that you're designing has to be 100 foot tall on paper, it has to be 100 foot tall in reality. You're not going to make it too big. If you look at it and you think, well that's how big it needs to be. We're currently doing some designs that are going to be in Newcastle, hopefully around the area near Gray's Monument. Now that's a massive tall structure, so the trees or whatever we do there will have to be just as tall. So you've got to have a bit of confidence in scale. You've got to have good spatial awareness. You've got to have your hands on what will work colour-wise. If you've got a blue office and I come in with blue decorations, it's going to be freezing cold and you're not going to know why. Well, it's my job to guide you. So it's a professional company. You mentioned working at height. All our team are IPAF operators, health and safety. MUP. Everybody's sort of, they've done it for a long time. The guys that I've got on my team have worked with me 20 years in Christmas, from big installations such as Metro Centre to decorations around the world. We're the only West End company to have ever been invited to do Manger Square in Bethlehem. So, just getting to Bethlehem is quite, you've got to, just the permits and so there's a lot of logistical input. There's a lot of planning goes into it on a big scheme. So yeah, it's got to be used to working at height, working at night, in the cold, outside. Big guys, strong guys, you've got to know what you're doing, really.
I think it's a super exciting industry because people might think it's just Christmas once a year, but actually you'll be working on stuff throughout the year, right? And not only designing your Christmas things, your seasonal decorations, but actually bespoke designs and installations for clients.
Well, yes. To be perfectly honest with you, when it comes to actually Christmas time when things are getting installed, that's the easiest time. For me, from a sales perspective, this is the hardest time because you're trying to get sales. You're trying to get customers over the line. You've got design after design to do. That's a very different period to when you're out with a team up in the Wales and you're doing a big mansion. That's a totally different feel, and there's a lot to it. It's a lot of work goes into it. It's quite surprising how much work.
I think people take for granted when they walk through a shopping mall like the Metro Centre, which is so big. All those decorations, someone's had to design them, put them up, but also make sure they're different and fresh each year.
Yes.
All these things whether it's the Metro Centre or, as you said, a Next or any big brand,
Yep.
There's a lot of effort that's gone into those Christmas trees and those displays. So we're really excited to meet you, and we're actually out of time for our chat. But is there anything you want to quickly tell anyone about? If anyone's listening today, how can they work with you?
Well, we've got a website, the Christmas Decorators, northeast.com. So, as I say, primarily look after the Northeast. My contact details are on there. Just give us a call. Glad to help. But we're really, you don't need to be a millionaire to use our services. We'll do the corner shop as well as the Tower of London, and everything in between. We'll cater for your budget, and everything's design-led. Bespoke is very fashionable, and of course selfie moments, getting yourself on Instagram is what we're good at.
Well, I'm glad to hear about that. We'll have to think what we can co-create together.
Lovely. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem, my pleasure.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content today and you feel inspired to start a podcast, reach out to us at hello@flamingoheights.co.uk. We can't wait to help you get your idea started.